Haʻinakolo has many, many themes. It was written by Ho'olu Mahiehie, who we understand to be poi poi, possibly in collaboration with other writers and other ike holders of that time. It was a daily serial that ran in Naʻi Aupuni for like a year and a half, from 1907 into 1908. So the story of Haʻinakolo is the story of one of the most beautiful chiefesses in all of Hawaiʻi. She came from Waipi'o's ruling family. Her parents were Hina Nui and Kuʻaikaua Kama. And the story opens with their meeting and how Haʻinakolo gets her name, which is very interesting. It goes to when she's being carried in her belly, and Keauka Naʻi, he comes to the shores of Waipi'o looking for the ali'i, looking for a wahine to take back to Kuʻaihelani, where Ku came from. Hina's sister Hi'ilei goes, and before she leaves, she says, okay, well, if the girl that I'm carrying, in my belly, if you give birth to a boy, then we'll betroth our children. And so Hi'ilei says, okay, that sounds good. We'll make that pact. She leaves, goes back to Kuʻaihelani. After Haʻinakolo is born and reaches the age of 15, it's time to see, did Hi'ilei have a son or a daughter or what? So Loheloa, Haʻinakolo's uncle, is sent to Kuʻaihelani. He has to build a va'a to go first, so he pulls up the largest koi'e tree in the forest and makes his va'a from that. And he goes through all the islands and he has battles with all these kupua and ali'i and people, and then battles with all of these kupua animals in the ocean. He finally reaches the shores of Kuʻaihelani, and sure enough, Hi'ilei did have a son. His name was Kealopiko. The story progresses, and it's how they find one another. The intention is for her to go there, but he ends up coming to get her. And they stay in Waipi'o for a time, and she conceives their first child. And then they go back to Kuʻaihelani to live. And themes in this mo'olelo that are very ko'i start to emerge, things that are quite serious in nature. Kealopiko's stepsister becomes very jealous, and she wants him for herself. And so she starts to do hana aloha and all these things, and they are able to summon what they call the kokoa makali'i, which is this big like rainbow net, comes down and envelops him and takes him away. And within this koko, he's kind of caught in this trance and this spell, and so it's this space where she can keep control over him, and she can keep him in love with her. But eventually the gods help Haʻinakolo reconnect to Kealopiko. They say, okay, if you do these pule and you do these certain mele, you'll break through sort of that force field, and he'll feel you and come back. And so that's what she does. She gets him back once, and then he's taken again, and she's devastated. She's raising their child. She's alone. He's off with Hapai Memewe, his half-sister. She goes through all of these sort of really trying experiences, and she decides finally she's going to leave. She needed the support of her ohana, and so that's a really fascinating part of the story, because she kind of goes against the norms of society and what is expected of her. What people probably would have said is, oh, you have to stay, you have to raise your child here, you just have to deal with whatever's going on. And she said, no, I'm going home. I'm going back to my ohana. And so she has a very harrowing journey across the ocean. And Kanaloa and all these different kupua are trying to take her va'a down. They overturn her va'a. But she has all of these kupuna and aumakua who come to her aid. And so it's also a story about those relationships and the power of that. And so she finally makes it to the shores of Waipi'o. But because of some things that she had done in Kuʻaihelani, the gods punish her. But they love her because she's so close to them, right? Chiefs are essentially manifestations of gods on earth, and they're related, they're not far. So they consider her a child of their own, they love her, they don't want to punish her with death. So they make her go crazy. And so she wanders off into the forest. She leaves her son on the shores of Kanukuai in Waipi'o, wanders off into the forest, and is not seen or heard from for years. And so while she's away, we don't get a lot from Poi Poi about what's happening in her story, but we understand that she's alone on the Aina, she's in nature, she's in the forest, and we also understand that she learns hula, and that she essentially heals herself through hula. And when she emerges again in the story, her son is a grown man. He has also learned hula. There's a big aha hula down in Waipi'o, and the family reconverges and finds each other again. And she has become this hula expert, and she is a healed and a new person through, being alone in nature and through the practice of hula. And so she is a different woman, and she rises triumphantly from, the many challenges that she faced during her life. I think one design that I really enjoyed the moʻolelo of, the kokoa makali'i, and I just liked that because the visuals were so fantastical to me. And it was really fun because it was a time when we could kind of like dress up the shop and showcase the work of other people. And so we had Marquez Marzan's koko and a bunch of different things in there. And we're trying to do more of that kind of thing where we have a design but then bring in other related artwork and create more of an experience around it. So yeah, that was a fun one, the kokoa makali'i. I think moʻolelo, like Haʻinakolo and like so many of the moʻolelo that our kupuna left for us, they show us how to come back from hard things. It's normal to experience difficulty. How we deal with it is really what makes us who we are, and is really the most important thing, because it's going to come. The big sets are going to come, but you can do it. Our kupuna did it. They went through all kinds of things. And when you come through a hard experience, you're so much stronger and so much wiser. You can ʻōlelo. We need people who understand how to be resilient, who understand how to come back from hard things and keep going, because that's how we get through, and that's how we holomua.